Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Harriet Dawson. I am a member of this church. It's so nice to see so many people from my own church. And also, we just welcome all of you who are coming to visit and see this great group today. I guarantee you, you're going to have a good time. Reverend Keogh is unable to be here. He's currently flying in the air, getting back to Orlando, but not quite on time, from a trip to Wisconsin, where he was visiting family. And he loves kids. Those who know him know that's really true. And he's always trying to do things with kids. So he had his little granddaughter this week. And he thought it was time to teach her the Lord's Prayer. I think she's precocious in about 3 or 4. And they worked at it all week, and he was so proud because he thought, this works. She was ready. So today he said, I think you should say the Lord's Prayer by yourself. So she started out. She did a great job. He was so pleased. He got all the big words and enunciating just right until she got to the part that only would happen in 2019. She said, lead us not into temptation and deliver us from all emails. Which kind of reminds me of my own grandson. Years ago when he was in preschool, the teacher said, we're going to talk about our grandmas and where they live. One boy said, well, my grandma just lives down the street. Another boy said, mine lives in South Dakota. And then they asked Tommy. Tommy says, where does your grandma live? He said, my grandma lives at the airport. Well, she said, that can't be. What do you mean? Well, Tommy said, yes, I know she does, because when we want her, we go get her. When we're done with her, we take her back. So I know your spirits are going to be lifted by the wonderful music today, and they are coming back. I want you to know that. They're going to be doing a holiday program with Christmas songs and some other songs, and the date is November 23rd. The program is called Hope, Peace, Joy, and Love. Tickets will be available. If each of you would just bring one more friend, or even 2, we would fill the house. So I know you're in for a real treat. I thank you for financially supporting us. The funds that were given today are for 2 different causes. One is the Magic of Bronze, and they have a lot of expenses. They need to buy music, they need to buy equipment, lots of supplies, and your donations help with that. The other one is a mission within our own church called the Infant and Toddler Pantry. Pantry makes you think of food, but it has nothing to do with food. We have for many years helped out those people in this area who are in great need. They are given clothing, cribs, car seats, anything that they need. They may be living in a car themselves, that sort of thing, and they are never charged a penny for it. The most expensive thing for us is diapers and also lotions and that sort of thing. So you are also helping to support that, and we appreciate it very much. Without further ado, I think you've had enough of me. I want to invite you to take a look at the screen. You are in for a real treat. Let's give a nice welcome to the Magic of Bronze.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, President of Magic of Bronze.
And I'm Stephen, Secretary of Magic of Bronze and one of the directors.
We'd like to thank you for coming to Ringing Movie Magic.
Before we get to our feature presentation, we'd like to tell you a little bit about how you can become a member of our Magic of Bronze family.
When you arrive, you are given a program that has 2 pieces of paper inside. The first is a form for you to sign up for our mailing list. We'd love to be able to keep in touch with you about our upcoming concerts and events. So before you leave, fill out the form and turn it in at our table in the lobby.
And for added incentive, after the concert, we will be drawing a name, and one lucky winner will win 2 free tickets to a movie.
The second piece of paper is about our Friends of Magic of Bronze program. Friends of Magic of Bronze help support us financially, helping us maintain, replace, and expand our equipment. In just the past 2 years, we've been able to purchase all of our bass bells and chimes that you will hear later today, thanks to those donations.
We've been working really hard to get this presentation to you today, and nothing you are about to hear is a one-man show.
We are a community handbell ensemble with ringers from throughout Central Florida. Everyone takes time from their busy schedules for our rehearsals, concerts, festivals, and other events, all because we love handbells.
We'd like to give a special thanks and appreciation to all of the people who make this possible. That includes our ringers, Friends of Magic of Bronze, ensembles and choirs from around the Central Florida area that allow us to borrow some of their equipment, our special hosts, and of course, you, our supporters.
Don't forget to fill out that contact form, and then be on the lookout for our open rings this summer, a workshop we're hosting in September, and our Hope, Peace, Joy, Love concert this November.
And now, on behalf of Magic of Bronze, we'd like for you to sit back, relax, and discover that it's not about what you see at the movies. It's all about what you hear.
Welcome to Ringing Movie Magic.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I didn't expect
It's okay, come on in.
things. Take your time. I just didn't expect anyone to be in here.
No worries, I'll be out of here soon.
Thanks. Is it okay?
Of course.
Thank you.
Are you the new guy or new gal?
Tell me, are you the former guy?
That's what they tell me.
Oh my goodness.
Nervous?
A little, yeah. I know I'm not going to be the next John Williams or anything.
I mean, none of us would expect to be the next John Williams. That man is a genius, a master of all sorts. Just take a deep breath, relax. We've all been where you're standing before. Have they given you your first assignment yet?
Yeah,
Please.
Thanks. Yeah, it's an action film, I think.
An action film. I hate that term. It's far too broad. Did they give you a title?
No, they didn't give me one. TBD.
Paddle trick. Take my advice. From now on, if they give you a film, ask for the title. Be insistent. How do they expect you to see a vision of the film if they can't even see the vision?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
And if it's action, always ask to see pictures, sketches, character designs. Anything they have, and especially a script so you can decide what kind of film it is.
Well, they did say it was action.
But action won't help you. Making music for movies is about more than action. You have to find its feel. You have to write love and hope, battle and journey, and okay, back it up. Remember Lord of the Rings, the movies, its soundtrack?
Yes, of course.
Well, the studio called it action, but it's not.
So then, what do you call it?
It's adventure. You have to capture the essence of the journey, the ups and downs, the lighthearted nights, and the terrifying battles. No one did that better than Lord of the Rings. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I never thought of it that way. In school we studied symphonies and concertos and Bach and Mozart, but we never really looked at movie scores like that.
They're usually overlooked. It's the most underrated type of music there is. But you're here now, so there must have been a time that you were watching a film that maybe you hadn't seen before, and the music conveyed to you something that you probably hadn't seen before.
Am I that obvious?
No, it's just how everyone gets here. So there's a moment where you're looking for the music and you find that moment that inspires you, and you want to convey that message to someone else. So what was it?
You'll laugh.
I promise I won't.
Okay.
You're a Trekkie.
Ever since I was little, but I don't just share that with anyone.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. There's plenty of people that are Trekkies out there. And those classics, they're classics for a reason.
Well, that's the thing. I've always loved Star Trek, but it wasn't the classic that drew me in. It was something more recent.
A classic in the making.
Well, sort of. I've always loved music. Wrote it a lot in the little spare time I had, but in 2009, I saw the latest Star Trek movie, and in the soundtrack, there was a piece, Enterprising Young Men. I remember listening to it, and it was just so Star Trek. It was fast-paced and smart, and a little hint of doom in the bass. I felt like it was a representation of not just the movie, but the characters and the plot. If I closed my eyes, I felt like I was there, out of this world, among the stars, or in the midst of a starship preparing for battle. I had never heard of anything more exciting.
Exciting, that's the thing about writing for the movies, especially now that everything's fake. So much is computer generated, not like it was in the old days. It's up to the composers to make it something real. It's up to you. You make it something that no one notices the graphics, and they're just drawn into another world where anything is possible. Adventure, excitement.
Love?
No, that's a hard one. Especially since you're going to find it more often than you like. But it's at the center of everything. Every movie you're ever going to write.
Even action movies?
Especially action movies. Love is the motivation for everything. Love for brothers, love for your country, love of money, love for a brighter future.
Some people might call that hope.
And it is. It's a hope born out of longing and desire and love. Kids' movies go crazy for that message, but that's the reason so many adults know those songs at the back of their hands. Because even when we've outgrown them, we still want to listen to them over and over again. We all need love. So when the studio comes to you looking for a hit, make sure they have a good lyricist that will help you convey that message. That's how you make a good movie. It doesn't have to be explicit or romantic, it just has to have love. An American Tail. Great movie for the kids, but it's the single that everyone remembers. Somewhere Out There. That's the song that made the movie. Remember, when it comes to the movies, it's not about what you see. It's about what you hear.
Somewhere out there, beneath the pale moonlight, someone's thinking of me and loving me tonight.
Somewhere out there, someone saying a prayer that we'll find one another in that big somewhere out there. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star.
And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out where dreams come true.
Even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star.
And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us, love can see us, then we'll be together somewhere out where dreams come true.
It's not about what you see, but what you hear. Wise words.
Some people might say it comes with age.
Some people would be right. It's not about what you see, but what you hear. You know, that's the Pink Panther score.
Oh, how do you figure that?
Well, the original movie. I saw it once a long time ago, and I struggled to remember what the plot was about, or even pull out a single memorable line. But everyone knows the Pink Panther score. My daughter has never seen the movie, but the moment it comes on in the car, she knows every note.
Exactly.
The score is arguably more famous than the actual movie.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And remember, instruments matter. How they play those instruments, it matters. It doesn't matter if you've seen the film before or not. The music, it speaks for itself. It's sly, it's quiet, it's suspicious. You have to play it that way. If you play it loud and without care, then it loses its touch. Something great will become something average in the wrong hands. But if the right group of people really get together and play it with what it represents, and it doesn't matter if they're playing it with the saxophone and the drums, the guitar, the piano, even the handbells. But it won't matter if you've seen the film or not. What they're going to remember is the great caper mysteries of the 50s and the 60s.
It's true. You never really think of it until someone points it out to you or forces you to, but it does sound like a mystery. You're right. Movie scores are underrated. They're so diverse.
Oh, it's not just the scores. Even those are very underrated. It's the big Hollywood classics. It's almost just
Wait, aren't the songs for the movies always the one thing people remember? I mean, My Heart Will Go On, Time of My Life, Grease. What about Eye of the Tiger?
all good, all wonderful, but I don't think people realize exactly what a good song in a movie can actually do for it. How it can move us. A song is good for more than just a dance number or 80s dressing room montage. A good song can make two characters fall in love. It can serve as a bridge for them to become the best of friends. A good song can even tell you everything you know about a character before the movie even begins.
You are thinking of something specific there.
Actually, I am. The Muppet movie. The original Muppet movie. You see, the first time Jim Henson's band was on screen, people were suspicious. They had no idea how the Muppets and Jim Henson's could make a name for themselves in Hollywood. But that first scene, the blue skies, the clouds, the sound of Kermit singing Rainbow Connection in the swamp on that lawn, you knew everything you needed to know about that character before he even said his first line. That's what it truly meant to be a classic, true classic Hollywood. It was all about putting on a show so great no one dared to question whether it belonged there or not. And Kermit, he did it all with just a band.
classic Hollywood. You must miss those days. The mysteries, the romance, the westerns.
Oh, the westerns. Now, those were some of my favorite things to write for.
Really? Why? I mean, aren't they all kind of the same in the end?
Oh, no, not at all. The movies, they were all kind of the same, but that was the challenge. It was in the music. You got into this for Star Trek, but it was westerns that really pulled me into this. The challenge to make each one different, even if you've seen the film 100 times by the time it premieres. The days of the heroes of the West riding valiantly across the plains on the back of a Palomino or a chestnut. That's what I lived for.
Were you writing for the actor or for the horse?
A little of both. When it comes to the westerns, you have to remember that back in the day, rider and horse were one. You have to capture the excitement of galloping alongside a train before the robbery. And the nice, smooth, lazy walks by the moonlit river, just a man, a horse, and a damsel no longer in distress.
I don't think you can say stuff like that anymore.
No, but that's what I always picture in my head. That's what I think about when I think of a western. The greatest western. Magnificent Seven.
Never saw it.
It doesn't matter. If you heard the score, you'd hear the Wild West. Trains billowing across the nation, heroes on horseback riding across the plains, the visit to the watering holes. That's the stuff the movies are made of.
The movies of old. I wish I could have been around to see the days when everything was so new. Nowadays, it feels like my generation does nothing but remakes.
But that's the joy of working with music. Everyone expects a remake to have the same characters, the same plot, even the same script. But with the music, you have a chance to make it something original.
I'm not sure I understand.
Music is what gives your story its flavor. When you see a horror movie, a woman walking down the hall, you feel scared, like something's about to jump out at you. It's not the woman walking down the hallway that's scaring you. It's the music that sets your teeth on edge. Have you ever seen a foreign film?
No, I'm not really into subtitles.
That's a shame. There's this one film, Henry IV, Italian. Originally, it was a play written in the 20s. I think the play, if you ever read it, it's meant to be a tragedy. But when Piazzolla wrote the music for it in the 80s, it completely transformed the work. You see, it was still a tragedy, but he added to it. Suddenly, it was sexy and deep. You can lose yourself in a soundtrack like that. You should really listen to it for yourself.
Go forth. I'll add it to my list. Oh, I keep a list of music I listen to, scores, movie soundtracks. It's all for research.
May I?
Yeah, sure.
Star Wars, Harry Potter, Pinocchio, Snow White, any Disney really, especially the Pixar stuff. Sound of Music, Chariots of Fire, Psycho, La La Land?
Oh, that can come off the list. I saw it last week. Someone recommended it to me.
And?
It was interesting. Definitely worth listening to.
Interesting how?
Well, I'm of the opinion that everything has something to offer. No matter the work, you can pull something out of it and use it.
So, what'd you get out of it? Where was its worth?
The music was aspiring.
So you want to write something like this?
No, I mean, it was aspiring. What they wrote was how it feels to have a dream. Not like the kind you have at night or even a goal that you think is achievable, but the kind of dream you wish for yourself, but seems so far off and distant, you don't know if it'll ever come true. I never knew that it could be a feeling until I heard the music, heard those words. It was inspiring.
It sounds a lot like where you are right now.
Yeah, in a way, I suppose it is.
City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, there's so much that I can't see. Who knows? I felt it from the first embrace I shared with you. But now our dreams, they finally come true. City of stars, just one thing everybody wants. There in the bars, after the smoke screen of the crowded restaurants, it's love. Yes, all we're looking for is love from someone else. A rush, a glance, a touch, a dance, a look in somebody's eyes, to light up the skies, to open the world and send it reeling. A voice that says I'll be here and you'll be alright. I don't care if I know just where I will go, 'cause all that I need is this crazy feeling, a rat-tat-tat in my heart. Think I wanted to stay. City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, your light shines so brightly.
Sorry, that was my daughter.
Do you need to get that?
No, I just promised her I'd help her with putting together a project when we got home, and she's just reminding me I need to pick up some glue at the store. Here she is.
Cute kid.
Thanks. You know, if I'm honest, she's half the reason I'm doing this.
Really?
Yeah, I tried the traditional stay-at-home mom stuff, and after a while it dawned on me that I could go after my dreams, make music, and be the best mom I can be, and teach her the same lessons.
Those are good lessons.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe someday I'll write the music to some great animated film that will define her generation.
Oh, an animated film? Now there's a perk in the business.
Yeah? Are they easy or something?
Oh no, not at all. But if you have the courtesy of time, you have it with them. They take a while for the artist to get just right, but you on the other hand get scripts and storyboards. You practically have the entire movie before they even started the film. You see, if you're like me, you'll find that you obsess a bit. With all that time, it's hard to finish and just walk away, and you're going to get the urge to come back time and time again to tweak those things and make it just right.
For the kids?
And their parents, but yeah, sort of. Kids don't know it, but the music they're hearing, it's going to set the tone for them. It's going to give them a sense of an oratory flavor of what they're about to see. See, take Hunchback of Notre Dame. Do you remember where it took place?
Well, Paris, everyone knows where Notre Dame is.
Kids don't. So some of them have never heard of France, much less Paris. But that opening number to Hunchback, The Bells of Notre Dame, they only had one piece to convey the flavor of Paris. Life about the city, the bells of Notre Dame. To an entire group of people that have never thought of it before. That was no small feat. And, now every kid that's ever seen this movie knows exactly where Notre Dame is. All they had to do was listen to the music.
So it's all about the music. Movie music has to tell you the characters, describe the journey, it has to convey emotion as well as love all at once, and now it also has to set the stage as well. You know, this job seemed a little easier before I met you.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you away from this.
No, not at all. You know, I think you're teaching me more than any of my professors ever did. I'll take all the advice I can get.
Well, in that case, don't be afraid to be creative, especially with the setting of the story. Not every piece you write for a picture has to be different. The best of them have themes, little snippets and breadcrumbs that over time will lead you back to where you came from. Remind you of a moment's past, a dream a character may have had, or remind you of where they grew up.
That seems really complicated.
Not at all. It's actually the simplest thing there is. Use what you already have. You remember the film Forrest Gump? Life is like a box of chocolates.
Of course, everyone remembers Forrest Gump.
Everyone knows Forrest Gump, but the music? Not so much. It was subtle and yet masterful. The film didn't set the story as much as framed it. You started with this wonderful shot of a feather blowing through the air with this gentle breeze, and you ended it with the shot of a feather floating through the air to the music with a gentle breeze.
Now that you mention it, I remember that. Like, the story had come full circle, and that feather, it was the main character. Just this innocent, pure guy floating through wherever the breeze took him. I remember feeling complete.
And it wasn't the feather that made you feel that. It was the music.
The feather was dancing to the music. I don't think I'll ever see those scenes the same way again as long as I live.
Good. Music should have that effect on you. Even if it's just a feather dancing in the breeze.
You know, speaking of dancing, do you have any advice for writing musicals? I've always had a love for them and my daughter loves Broadway.
Yeah, 2 words. Teamwork and independence.
Don't those 2 things contradict one another?
Yes and no. It'll be a while before people trust you enough to put a musical together. But first thing you have to understand about writing for a musical is that you can't do it alone. You're too massive. You need a great lyricist and a couple of assistant musicians to bounce ideas off just to get the drafts done. But you also have to stick to your guns. Stand your ground. Studios always want to go for shock and awe these days, and they'll pressure you into writing a certain way for the dancers and actors. Don't let them. You and your team write the music in your head, and let the choreographers worry about bringing your vision to life. That's how some of the greats like Singing in the Rain came to be. If they're as good as their craft as you are with yours, then they'll see that dance you saw in your head. They'll bring it to life. I mean, can you imagine what Singing in the Rain might have looked like if those musicians hadn't been allowed to write Rain the way they did?
It's not what you see, it's what you hear.
Exactly. It's all about the music. If you do your job right, you'll find that there are some scenes that they just wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for the music. You should do an experiment sometime. Watch one of those big, impressive action scenes the bigwigs love. without the music. See what you think is missing.
Oh, a few years back, someone on YouTube removed the music from one of the last scenes of Star Wars. Strangest thing ever. And awkward too.
Exactly. Could you imagine a funeral scene without a church choir singing in the background? Or a coronation without trumpets? Think about a love scene without the violins playing in the background. Or think about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I love those movies. I went to the midnight showing of every one of them.
They were great films, and their soundtracks were amazing on their own. But you put it together, and there's something magical there. Just imagine what the sword fight would have been without the music, to keep you on the edge of your seat. Without the inspiring swell to make you feel like you're on the water, the clashing of the swords, and the sense of urgency and doom. Take the music away, and it's just two guys clashing their fake swords together.
But wait, doesn't that contradict everything you've been telling me all this time? I mean, I thought it was about what I heard and not what I saw.
And it is, and it's a great example of that because without words, what your brain remembers is the music and the images before you. Take the picture away and close your eyes as you listen to the music. Like magic, you'll see pirates on the seven seas.
Pirates without the music would look kind of strange.
Sorry about that. It's my wife. She's wondering where I am.
Oh, no, I'm the one who should be sorry. I'm keeping you from your retirement.
Pardon me. And not to go all cliche on you, but it's true what they say. Once you have the music in you, you never really stop. You know, we're going to be doing some traveling after this, and my wife and I already have a bet. She thinks it's going to take me about 6 weeks before I put pen to paper, but I'll give it about a year.
Well, thank you so much for the advice and the pep talk and the reassurances and, well, thank you.
Thank you for the company. It would have been very difficult packing this old place up in the quiet by myself. And to be honest with you, if I were writing a scene about this, it would have been in the minor key. You helped me put it in the major. Well, I better be going. My wife's throwing me a surprise party.
Well, you need some help?
Oh, thank you. You know what? You're fine. You stay unpacked, get settled. Keep this place going.
Oh, wait, you forgot your stock paper. You can't write any music without it.
No, you can't. Keep it. Writing music? It's your turn now.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me. Where the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Like a shooting star, I will go the distance. I will search the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms.